And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another stadium review. There we go. I haven't done one of these in a while, so excuse me for not being remembrance. Today we are reviewing Dow Diamond Stadium, or Dow Diamond Field, or just Dow Diamond, I think it's called. This is home of the Great Lakes Loons MILB baseball team in the Midwest League. And I got to visit this stadium back on May 10th. I don't know when this video is going to go live. We did a vlog. You should have already seen it by now. I'm going to try to have this go up after the vlog. So I don't know yet. We haven't really put it together. But kind of just how that's going to go. But we got to see the Lugnuts win 7-6 in 11 innings. So we got 2 extra innings of baseball to enjoy this stadium. I feel like we got a pretty good overall view of the stadium. Even though it wasn't very crowded, I still think we were able to enjoy it, especially on a Friday night. So I got a lot of thoughts on it. The stadium's, by the way, in Midland, Michigan, near the Thumb area. So I got a lot of thoughts on it. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Yeah, so, the only other Midwest League stadium, or even a minor league stadium that I've been to at the time of recording this is Lugnuts Stadium. So there's going to be a lot of comparisons to Lugnuts Stadium. And one big thing that I noticed right off the bat was the parking situation. With Lugnuts Stadium, it's very much downtown. There's not a lot of parking. And so there's a lot of areas that, charge for parking, and it might have to be a little harder to drive, might have to walk a little farther, but there's bars in the area and stuff like that to accommodate, and it's more just like a walking environment too. Good for people that might live there that don't want to drive, can walk to the game, stuff like that. But this stadium does not have that. I guess you could walk to it. There was a neighborhood, like just down the street. You could have just walked to it if you live in that neighborhood. But it definitely doesn't have that same downtown feel. It's definitely more out there. There's a lot more open parking, which is weird. But, it's larger parking lots. I wouldn't call it a parking desert, as the good friend Ann Pomeroy would say. But, yeah, definitely didn't feel as downtown. And because it's not as downtown, you don't get that cool city skyline view either. You just get pretty much in the outfield view, you get past the stadium, you get a factory and some trees and maybe a river. The river, which is cool. The river was a cool little thing that was around there. And they have a nice park because it's, Dow is right there too. And there's a cool park you can walk through for Dow. That's pretty cool. It's not really incorporated with the stadium at all, but it is a cool little thing. And it's on the river too, but there's not really much else to look at besides fields and factories and death. So now let's talk about the ticket prices and prices in general, I guess. You go up, and we didn't have to pay for parking, which was good. We should have probably paid for parking. It was only 3-hour parking. We had about 4 hours. They didn't ticket us though, so we're okay. But what about prices? Well, ticket prices weren't any different than they are at the Lugnuts, except the fact that there's no discounts. That we could see, at least no senior discount, which I guess Lugnuts doesn't offer, but no student discount. That was a big one because I am a student and I was kind of expecting a student discount. There was none. Otherwise, the prices are pretty much the same. It's nothing too crazy, so just know that going in, it's not that crazy at all. As far as everything there, there's no printing fees either, though, which I do like. They didn't even ask us, but it's cool. And then the food prices and the merchandise prices were not bad either. We went on their feast night, which I think is every game that's on a Friday. $2 hot dogs, $1 chips, $1 drink, $1 ice cream, sandwiches. Really good deal. It's affordable. You can do it over and over again. And it was good. I mean, they have better made chips, Michigan made chips. The drinks are pretty good portions for what you're getting. The hot dogs are good. I didn't have the ice cream sandwiches, but I heard they were pretty good too. And I also was able to steal a bag of chips. Here's a fun story with the concessions. So I walked up and I was like, yeah, I want a hot dog, a chip, and a drink. And then the lady was like, you want everything? Like all four? No, I don't want all four. I wanted three of the four. But I was like, sure, I'll try the ice cream sandwich. Why not? But then it rings up. I'm just like, yeah, just grab the chips off the rack because they were right in front of me. And then I only paid $4.24. But the hot dog, it should have been $5.30 if you're paying correctly. So I think I stole some chips. I don't know though. Maybe it just got rang up wrong. Funny thing. So Garry got my ice cream sandwich. That's how it kind of works, you know. That was pretty funny. The merchandise prices aren't that bad either. I like the 2-level shop too. That's pretty cool. And you know, there's a lot of selections of good stuff for all ages. The pin selection was pretty good, and it was not expensive at all. They got a really cool one, like the stadium with the Loons logo. It's like $5, not bad at all. You know, they have good jersey selection, good hat selection, all sorts of cool stuff. So that was really, really cool. Definitely like that. Now, how about the stadium itself? Well, you know, as far as it, you know, it's not very large, but it does feel modern and well kept. I gotta say, the concourses were clean. They felt modern. There were campfires. You literally go into the concourse and there's a campfire. Never seen that at a stadium before. And they had a couple in the outfield as well for people to enjoy. Really cool touch, I must say. And it felt clean. It was more open, in my opinion, than Lugnut's concourses. But maybe just because it wasn't a very crowded night. And there was also a lot of other scenery, I guess. But you know, there were a couple of things. There's some nice trees out in left field, and then there was this weird board I talked about in the vlog, but I don't know what that board was for. If anybody knows what that board is for, comment down below, because I want to know. And then other than that, it was just like the scoreboard on the right field and a few other things, but not super crazy. But you know, you get what you get. There's a cool park too, which I like the park. The Lugnuts do that too. It's a good way for the kids. I think it's a cool addition, and I think people really like it. They also have a cool thing commemorating everybody that's gone to the MLB out in the outfield too. That's kind of cool to walk by and look at, and a lot of lawn seating too. There's a lot of different ways you can view the game. They have lawn chairs, the lawn you can sit on, the regular seats, the suites, special other areas to view the game. Good way, a lot of different ways to do it, which is cool. It adds a lot of variety. And you know, speaking of the food again, there was a good amount of food options. Obviously, we stuck to the stuff that was for the deal, but I mean, they had a pretty soft food options like nachos and black bean burgers and, you know, more fancy hot dogs, and all that kind of stuff. Of course, the alcohol selection. They had like specials carts set up too, so that was cool. And you know, good wide range of options. There's a few things though that those are all really the good things about the stadium. The really good things that I can say. What about the negatives? Or I guess not so much negatives, but like the not great things. The mascot. We gotta talk about the mascot. The Loons. Not very intimidating mascot, and it kind of creeped me out. I also find it's called Louie the mascot. Definitely a weird choice. I also really, really, really hated the fucking loon calls every fucking 5 minutes, and they draw out for literally a full minute. That is way too long. Even if I was a Loons fan, I would hate that. I would hate that. It is way, way too long and really loud, high pitched. And the announcer was annoying too. He would draw the stuff out, and it was just not a very, very like good for the ears voice to listen to either, in my opinion. I could be a little bit biased, but that's what I gotta say. Also, I thought the staff were a little strict with where people could go. Obviously, like, you can't go into like the specially reserved areas. But like, there were kids like throwing the baseball around on the lawn. And they were throwing the baseball around on the lawn. And they were way out in the outfield. But the staff were making them come back, not throw the ball, and they had to get off the lawn. What were they doing? They weren't being any of a nuisance. And then, you have, we were trying to stand on like the sidewalk and like stand at the fence, while we were watching the game in the outfield, and we were told to get off. Really weird there, huh? And they were just kind of like stalking people. They would pick out select groups of people and just stalk them because they thought they were going to cause trouble. There was no fan ruckus at all. Partially because it was a not very crowded night, but also the crowd isn't very rowdy. This is not like a K-Wings game at all, or even like a Raiders game or anything like that. So, it wasn't. There was just no reason for that. Though I do have to say the staff did a good job. I think at the end they greet people as they leave the stadium at the end of the game. I think that's more for security purposes, but also I think that was just a cool thing that they did. Because not every stadium does that, so that was nice. Overall, though, the staff the staff were nice. The staff we interacted with, like the concession stands and whatnot. Some of the staff we interacted with just walking around were cool, too. I mean, obviously, we were opposing fans, so, but they were really nice about it, and, that was cool, too. So I liked that. And then the environment of the game itself was okay. Like, for a game that went into extra innings, on a Friday night, too, I get that, it's still school for many kids right now, but it was a night game on a Friday. The attendance was ass, and the team is good, too. The Loons are doing good right now. Why? I know it's a minor league team, and they're for the Dodgers, nowhere close to here, but I feel like they should have had a stronger home fans crowd. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but that's what it just felt like to me. The fans that were there, though, were pretty engaged with the game. They have some weird chants. Like, every time they'd score a run, they did and then it was like hive mind shit. You look at it in the vlog, too, but it is weird. It is creepy. It is, I don't know. I don't like it at all. Yeah, but the crowd was like, the crowd was engaged, I gotta say, but I don't know. I just kind of, if it was like a weeknight, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I would maybe think differently, but nah. But overall, I like this stadium. It's a nice little stadium. I don't really have a good reason to go back anytime soon. There was nothing super, super extraordinary that standed out for me. But it was nice. I had a good experience. And, given the opportunity, if somebody got me free tickets, I wouldn't pass it up, even if the Lugnuts weren't playing. So, there you go. That was pretty cool, though. For my final score for Dow Diamond, I'm going to have to give this one a good... I'll give it a 7. That's about the highest rating that I can give it. It was fun, but not extraordinary, and I don't see myself going back anytime soon. But if you're in the Midland area, looking for a fun night for baseball, this is definitely something that you should try. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll get a good experience out of it, especially if you go to one of the value nights, and you'll have a good time, I think. So, regardless of who you root for. So, that's going to do it, though, for the stadium review. If you've ever been to Dow Diamond, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And that's going to do it for this video as well. So stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more stadium reviews and other awesome stuff. There will be more coming this year. Do not worry. So until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.